This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Welcome, listeners. I'm your host, Dani, and I'm the first-time reader who's going through this 15-book series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we are covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host, Brett, who's a longtime fan of the series, and he's acting as my tour guide on this journey. Before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome some new patrons to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. So thank you so much to Andrea Ramirez and Unraveled Pattern. We're really excited to have your support, and thank you so much again for your generosity. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 11 and 12 of The Dragon Reborn.
Yeah, so chapter 11 is Tar Valon, and chapter 12 is the Amyrlin Seat.
Yep, and they were so exciting.
Probably the most exciting we've read so far. That's a joke. That's a good one.
Because it's so bad.
Yeah, okay, so we're on the on-ramp. We're getting there, and I will say that a lot of important stuff that we needed to see, happens in these chapters.
Sure.
We got it out of the way. We've done it. And now we can move forward.
There is an unnecessary amount of description.
There's a lot of description, I'll give you that.
I forgot that I was reading Robert Jordan books.
But we get a new map. That's exciting.
We do get a new map.
You've never seen a visual on Tar Valon before,
No, and I was actually complaining that The Great Hunt didn't have any extra baby maps.
Yeah.
And this has an extra baby map.
There you go. That's exciting.
Yeah. But first, do you have something for us?
Yeah, you got it. Hey, it only took
I had to put it in my notes to remember to ask you
Don't forget. Well, it's kind of funny because this fun fact is really fun because you now have a visual on Tar Valon. And this fun fact isn't so much for, the rest of the Wheel of Time community because I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure everyone knows this.
That it looks like a vagina?
There you go.
Okay.
It's really funny because that's the fun fact is that if you have not seen a map or if this is your first read through the series.
An artistic rendering of a vagina.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's exactly what Tar Valon looks like. It's pretty great. So if you have an audiobook and you haven't seen a map, go check it out. It's hilarious because it's one of the criticisms
Well,
that
I like
RJ
it
has
because it's the female headquarters.
It is.
And you want to tell me he did that out by accident?
And then you have Dragon Mount, which is the big looming shadow that,
Sure.
that's right beside Tar Valon.
I got it.
There you go. Fun fact.
I got your lewd fun fact. Oh, that's really it?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. I mean, I have mini fun facts, like the fact that Tar Valon's probably based on Avalon from King Arthur, but we don't need to go into that because we have talked briefly about that before.
Okay.
So yeah, the fun fact was the fact that Tar Valon looks like a vagina.
Cool.
There you go.
All right.
Okay, let's proceed.
Okay. That was funny.
That was good.
Okay, so chapter 11, Tar Valon.
Let's get into it.
The flame of Tar Valon is the picture.
Which makes sense.
And we get a map.
Yeah. It's actually kind of funny because it's not north-south. If you look at it, the west side or the left side of the map is actually the south side of the real world map.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's off-center.
Oh, I didn't
not
see.
North is not
that's
up.
The kind of fun fact I need because I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the left side is actually the south bank, and the right side of the map is the north bank.
I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because the North Harbor and South Harbor.
What I found the most interesting about this map.
Yeah.
Was the Ogier Grove.
Yes.
That they went through the ways in is on this map.
Yes, it is.
Because I looked for it because when they enter this village that's outside of Tar Valon, my mind thought they were entering the village outside of the tower of Tar Valon, not the village, but the town of Tar Valon.
Yeah,
or
so
city
there's
of Tar Valon.
It's not really defined very well, but there's 6 towns.
Yeah, I had to sort of see that there were villages outside.
Yeah.
And then bridges go in.
Well, because we don't really talk or see much about that, but there's actually 6 bridges that go into Tar Valon, and it's kind of funny because when we were doing that Wheel of Time trivia, or when I was, one of the questions was how many bridges are there that goes into Tar Valon?
Oh.
Yeah, and 6.
Okay.
So.
Was that an easy one for you?
Yeah, it's pretty well known once you get into it.
Okay.
And then the 2 harbors, so.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, last time we know that Rand is on the run, on his way to Tyr.
He is.
Killing dogs,
doing a little bit of crazy stuff.
Being crazy, making everyone around him do crazy things.
But you know what? Making really good time. He's the guy you want on a road trip if you want to, get there real fast.
Yeah.
Except when you
and
take
you
it.
don't want to sleep and you don't want to eat.
But then you like stop for a day to like have a bunch of party weddings. So
Yeah,
I get it.
it's all bad.
Yeah.
So Perrin also is like pretty deep into this dream world wolf thing.
Yeah, it's getting pretty heavy.
It sounded bad. And then Egwene, Nynaeve, Elaine, Verin, Hurin, and Sickmat are just getting to Tarvalon.
Yes.
After like 6 months or something
Yeah,
crazy.
and they had the little
traveling the entire winter.
And it was noted, we did get the comments about the whole like Matt and dagger thing. So he
Yeah.
was gonna die real fast if he didn't get the dagger, but he has a dagger, so it like he lasted a little bit longer. But now we're like on the last couple hours here before he actually dies.
Right.
From what it sounds like.
Yeah, and I do have to amend myself a little bit because the more I thought about them using the ways,
Yeah.
the more it didn't make sense.
I get it, yeah.
So, I guess, like, if you don't have an Ogier or a Dark Friend guidebook
yeah, you
to
know.
guide you through, I would assume, like, maybe Verin can read Ogier script. Like
maybe, yeah.
But probably not.
Like, she was kind of not very well versed in portal stones, but that's not Ogier script. But it's like she knows a lot of stuff, so maybe. But also, you have Match and Shin in the ways, and we don't really know what's going on with that. So.
I feel like they could have conveniently been like, and when I say they, I mean Robert Jordan, could have conveniently been like, oh, by the way, Verin can read Ogier script, and they can go through the ways.
And they made it, yay.
And she knows all about how Match and Shin isn't going to be around because he's, you know, all obsessed with obsessed with Rand, sorry.
Yeah.
And, like, it could have been.
It could have.
It could have.
But it didn't.
But
Maybe the pattern needed Matt to, like, take a really long time to get to Tarvalon.
I don't want to talk about this whole pattern and Matt business because I'm upset.
Okay, yeah, we got to get into this because stuff happens, yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit of stuff, like
Okay.
just a hint.
Okay. So we are in Egwene's point of view still. She is just getting to the village outside of Tarvalon with her crew called... Oh, my notes auto-corrected it to Darwin.
It is not Darwin.
Nope.
It's Darien or something like that.
Darien,
yeah.
Okay. Alright, so they make their way through this village and they get to the bottom of a bridge. That's going to take them into Tarvalon. They push their way to the front and Verin addresses the bridge guard guy.
Yes.
And the guard says, oh, Aes Sedai, go right across.
Yeah, he's like the border security.
Yeah, but then instead of Verin being like, cool, thanks, we got someone dying here.
Yeah.
She just, like, takes her sweet-ass time.
Okay, so Verin kind of like, she has an idea of how much time she has. She still has time.
Nah, she's being super sketchy. This entire thing, I hate her.
Okay.
I've, like, grown to, like, not like her at all because...
Which is kind of weird, but...
She is not concerned about Matt at all, and she's being really weird about everything. I'm just, like, I don't like her right now.
Okay.
She's giving me weird vibes.
Okay, let's continue, because this first little, like, stop to the gate guard isn't that big of a deal in my
big.
mind.
She's being super sketchy. So,
Okay.
because Egwene is concerned about Matt, and I am too, but Verin's annoying me because she doesn't seem to care if he dies.
Well,
That's
Egwene's
what I
annoying
wrote.
Verin. Egwene's, like, the most annoying person to Verin right now.
Yeah,
like,
well.
everything she says, just, like...
Yeah, that's true.
But, I mean, you travel with anyone for, like, 6 months, and it's gonna, you know...
Oh, yeah. For sure. So Verin asks if there have been trouble with the White Cloaks and strikes up this whole conversation. And the guy says there hasn't really been any, like, real problems because they're just stupid, pesky White Cloaks. Like, nothing that the Amyrlin can't handle.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, it makes sense.
And then the guard asks if there's any news from the outside because there have been all these rumors and news of a new false dragon out west.
And that's Rand.
Yeah. And luckily, he makes one mistake in what he says, and that's what Verin clasps onto.
Yeah.
He says, over at Fulma, on...
Like in Terrebonne or something.
Terrebonne.
Yeah, just like, it's not in Terrebonne.
And she's like, you don't even know what you're talking about. Don't listen to rumors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good deflection, so...
Yeah. She shuts it down really fast with her tricksy Aes Sedai speech.
Yeah, because, like, the rest of that stuff pretty much happened.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. And so they cross the bridge into Tarvalon. So Egwene thinks about how this is her home now and how she probably won't go back to Emmonsfield.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty big. Like, she has, in her own mind, outgrown, like, Emmons Field. Not necessarily in a bad way, but, like, she wants more out of life, and this is what she's always wanted.
Yes.
So.
This and PTSD.
Yes, she got that, too, along the way.
Yeah. So, about a page and a half of descriptions...
Did you note
here,
anything very exciting?
Nothing.
Okay.
Tarvalon is fancy and wonderful.
Yeah, and it's really old, and the Ogier did it.
And the Ogier did it. The only thing I maybe could just to give us something to talk about in this chapter
Sure.
is it reminds me of Whitebridge. Like the lacy
stone I get
bridges and stuff, the way that stuff is built.
Yeah. It's clearly like
from the
time.
Age of Legends. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, technically, Tarvalon isn't from the Age of Legends.
Oh.
It's like right after the breaking. This was like one of the first like structures the Ogier built. But that was back when like Aes Sedai were still around to like help.
Oh.
And they knew all the Age of Legends stuff. It just wasn't technically classified as Age of Legends.
Technically.
Because the breaking kind of ended that.
Actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, someone's going to correct us, so like I got to do it now.
Okay. That's fine. You can correct me. So Egwene notices that Verin pulls her hood up to hide her face and asks if they really can expect trouble now, like they're in Tarvalon after all. And Verin says she always expects trouble, in the tower most of all.
Yeah.
And apparently those tricks that these girls use to scare the White Cloaks away will get them in all sorts of trouble.
Well, she kind of says it plain that they might be stilled or like killed because of things if they do stuff like that again. So, like, she says that pretty clearly that they really crossed a line.
Yeah, fine.
Like, it wasn't good. It wasn't like in their code of ethics here, so.
No. Okay, so once they're in the tower, they must hold their tongues and accept whatever happens to them.
And you know that Egwene and Nynaeve are definitely people who are going to hold their tongues.
They're so good at that.
And Elaine, she definitely knows how to do that too.
Yeah. So bad.
Like, it's all bad.
My mother says. Yeah. So Hurin takes this chance to just take off.
Yeah, he's gone.
He's gone.
Otherwise, he might get, like, captured again.
Well, and he doesn't want to spend any more time in any presence of any Aes Sedai. Never mind spend a night in the White Tower.
They're going to kidnap him and, like, study him.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
If they find out.
Yeah.
So he wants to go back to Shinar and tell Egelmar and the king all about everything. The dragon is, like, officially reborn. And I guess, like, Egelmar and the king all sort of need to know that because Shinarians have stopped defending Shinar.
Well, they've defected from the Shinar army, so, like, maybe that's, like, something they're going to be cool with, but also...
Probably not, because who's protecting the world from the plague?
Yeah, it was, like, a small amount of Shinarans. It wasn't, like, the entire country. It was, like... There's, like, 20 of them.
I know, but still. Maybe once they all find out, they'll all defect, though.
Oh, no!
Yeah. So anyways, he means to be on the next ship out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So they reach the tower grounds, and Verin pushes back her hood and whispers to one of the guards, and he says, like, "Right away, Aes Sedai," and, like, runs off.
Yeah.
Or something. And so Verin starts to ride through the gates, but not as if she's in a hurry.
Yes.
So, more annoying things.
Okay,
so,
you can't, like, draw attention to themselves, though. Like, they have the Horn of Valir. Like, they shouldn't be drawing attention. They gotta be, like, nonchalant.
It's too sketchy for me.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I
feel like Aes Sedai can move around as if they mean business, and no one's gonna look twice.
Except for other Aes Sedai.
Who cares?
About the Horn of... Okay, we can talk about that next chapter, about who cares.
Okay.
Clearly, two people really care.
I know.
That nobody else knows about the Horn of Valir.
But that whole thing...
Okay.
Whatever.
I
gotta stick up... moving around with a purpose...
Yeah.
After being on a journey, no one's going to be like, "Hey, what you got there? Is that the Horn of Valir?"
What's in that bag?
Yeah, no.
Well, if it was Rand, he'd be like, "This definitely isn't the Horn of Valir," with, like, zero prompting, so...
Okay, so whatever. They go and stable their horses, and Matt's litter is removed from the horses and placed on the ground, and Verin picks up the horn in the sack and tucks it carelessly under one arm, and Nynaeve is like, hey, what about Matt? And then Verin ignores her.
That's the nonchalantness. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
The careless tucking under the arm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Nonchalantness.
I don't know. I see it as sketchy.
I know you do. Like, I gotta stick up...
I feel like you're trying to throw me off, but no.
So, I really like Verin.
She gives me sketchy vibes.
Okay.
So...
That's like if I was being all sketchy about Moraine.
Well...
You really like her.
I've been sketchy about Moraine.
That's
She
true.
sketched me out.
Yeah.
I always have my sketchy radar on, so... I always
Who's this? Who's that?
I have to be on the lookout. Dark friend watch.
You know what we haven't talked in a long time about?
What?
That whole was somebody lying between Moraine and Verin.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
Okay.
That's why I'm on high alert between the
Yeah.
both of them, because someone's lying, and that means one of them's a dark friend.
Okay.
I just
mean,
have to
there
say.
could be like a third or fourth alternative to that.
There could be.
But
I'm
like,
not willing to...
It doesn't have to be like black or white.
Sure.
Good guy, bad guy.
Dark or light.
Maybe they're both bad guys.
Maybe.
Maybe.
That's what I'm on the watch for.
Oh, okay. All right.
This is literally my job, Brett.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Okay.
here she is, being a little bit sketchy, and maybe she's the liar.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll give you that.
And maybe she was working with Leandrin and got the girls out of there in the first place.
That's like a terrible duo where Leandrin brings them and then Verin like gets them out of there.
Well, she had to keep up appearances now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also possible that like the people directing the Dark Friends are like totally not on the same page, where one person's like, we gotta get Nynaeve and Egwene across the ocean, and the other one's like, no, we can't do it. And then like maybe Leandrin and like Verin are working for different people.
Remember how I suspected the Grey Men? Maybe that's Verin setting that up.
In the town where she was also attacked?
Yeah, wasn't attacked. It was just Egwene and Nynaeve.
Yeah,
but,
pretty sure they were all attacked.
Nuh-uh, it was from Egwene's point of view.
Yeah.
So who knows what she's thinking.
Okay. You got a lot of stuff going on.
I gotta make
here.
this chapter more interesting than it actually is.
That's fair, okay. So let's continue, because we're almost done this chapter.
Dark friend until proven not. How about that?
Yeah, I don't think that's how it's supposed to work.
Alright, so Sheriam.
Yeah, that's nice. We see her again.
Yeah, I do like her.
Yeah, Mistress of Novices and all.
Yeah. So, and 3 other accepted show up.
Yeah.
And she says to Verin, so you've brought back our 3 runaways.
This is interesting.
And I thought,
yeah.
oh, shoot. Okay. So, this is confirmation that Leandrin, number 1, has not shown back up.
Okay.
Or, like, maybe has, but...
Sure. Had a different story, like they ran away.
Had a different story, or...
Maybe they didn't even know Leandrin was gone.
They didn't even know Leandrin was part of it.
Yep.
Either way, they are runaways.
Yes.
And not, like, not have been captured.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of understand that too. Like, even if like the higher ups know that Leandrin or like a Black Aja like took them away, I can understand that not being public knowledge, because then like everybody knows that the Black Aja is real, and that's gonna freak everybody out.
Yeah, I think that this statement makes it clear that they think they just ran away.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
Okay. So, Egwene starts to say that they didn't run away, but then Verin yells at her to be silent.
Which is interesting, because we get capitalization in the book.
Capitalization. That's how mad Verin is.
Yeah, she's like shouting. We don't usually get capitals.
No. So, Verin tells Sheriam that the boy over there is dangerously ill. He is a danger to others and himself, and he must be brought somewhere away from everyone.
Yes.
And this, I just sort of went, "Okay, what? Shouldn't you be sending for, like, people to heal him and stuff?
Yeah.
Or you don't want to, like, talk about the whole Shatter Logoth?"
Probably don't want to talk about that to just random people. Like, remember back in Faldara where it was a very select amount of people who Moraine and, like, Siuan really trusted?
Yeah.
So, like, that was very close.
Whatever. This is still part of her being sketchy. And not caring about Matt.
I know. You don't think that she cares.
So Verin says that she must see the Amyrlin, and these 3 girls must be watched closely and held in their rooms until the Amyrlin chooses to see them.
Yeah.
So Verin goes off, and Sheriam scolds the girls, about how they have so much talent that they've basically squandered by running away, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's like the great power, great responsibility Spider-Man conversation.
And then she directs the accepted to be their guards, basically.
Yeah.
And one of the accepted is named Pheolin.
Pheolane.
I think I've heard this name before.
Yeah, I use Pheolin as one of my D&D character names.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's probably where I hear that from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is Pheolane.
Okay, but she's kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
And she goes to, like, take Egwene.
Yeah.
And then another one is named Theodrin.
Yeah.
And she's nicer.
Yeah.
And she says she'll take Nynaeve because I'm a wilder too.
Yeah, so we definitely get a little bit more of this whole distinction between, like, wilders and non-wilders.
I have to say, I did something bad.
What did you do?
I went to the glossary. I read what a wilder was because I forgot.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. We've learned what a wilder is like in the
No,
first
I know
book.
that, but I'm not allowed to go to the glossary.
You just got to be careful when you read it.
I feel by book 3, I should know. I can go to the glossary.
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay.
While they're safe and everything is fine.
Yeah,
it's all
I did.
good.
What I did find interesting in the glossary definition.
Yeah.
Hey, Brett.
Hey.
It's time for glossary definitions with Dani.
Oh my goodness, you're stealing my job.
Yeah, I did it.
Okay.
Anyways, I'm not actually going to read the glossary definition.
What a wilder is?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I found interesting that they typically are more powerful than other Aes Sedai.
Yeah, the ones who like survive though.
The one who
That's the issue.
Well, yes, because only like 1 in 4 survive.
Yeah, so it's like if you can harness it and kind of like master it on your own and you make it through. It's kind of like the whole Egwene thing. We really saw her level up, but that's because she was pushed really really hard.
Yeah.
And traditionally in the tower, it seems like they take it a lot slower.
Yeah, they make
She
them
was, like, making-
wash pots for years.
Yeah, and like she was making like light balls.
Yeah.
And then she goes and has to like blow up a tree the next day.
Yeah.
So it's like totally different training methods, but
Yeah. Okay, so Valon calls this wilder like a wilder, but says it like it's a curse and rolls her eyes like, ugh, wilders.
yeah, yeah.
And then the third accepted stands beside Elaine, and both of them are just like sort of forgotten about. We don't even get a name for her.
No, we don't.
Elaine is an afterthought. The third accepted is an afterthought.
We're going on. We're moving
Whatever.
on. Yeah.
So they follow them out of the stable and are worried.
Yes.
The end.
They're worried about Matt. Like,
Yeah, they're worried about everything right
Yeah.
now. Okay, so chapter 12,
yes.
the Amyrlin seat. Some interesting discussions happen in this chapter.
Yeah. I mean, we get a swan perspective, which
Yes,
is cool.
we do get a swan perspective. The symbol, the icon is a flame of Tarvalin again.
Which makes sense because it's the Amyrlin seat.
Yeah. So, Swan's point of view, we get a lot of fish metaphors.
We do. We
And
get
analogies.
a little bit of her backstory too. A little bit more.
A little bit. Pour and tear.
Yeah.
That's
Like we knew she was from around there before.
Yeah.
So.
So she's in her study, muttering to herself in fish metaphors, and she has prepared some documents,
Yes.
which are sealed and ready to be sent if needed, but kept in some magic box which will light on fire if anyone tries to open it.
That's a pretty good secret box to have.
That's excellent security.
Yeah. So what
That's the
eventualities?
opposite of a firebox.
What is she preparing for though? Like what are the? She said she's got different notes for different eventualities.
Yeah.
Of different things. What are some of those things that could have happened? Do you think?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, I'm just kind of thinking like along
Because-
the lines of like Rand. Clearly, that's a huge issue, right? So.
Well, in the next little bit here, the next like sentence, she thinks about how she's been here in the tower for 20 years. She's been Amyrlin for 10 years, and if she slips now, she'll be a fish out of water or
Yeah,
something. I don't
yeah.
know. She uses some metaphor again, but basically, she won't be happy.
Yeah, well, it's the whole like she's been meddling with Moraine with the Dragon Reborn for like 20 years or so.
Yeah.
And like if they get caught, they're gonna get stilled and executed probably.
Yeah.
Except probably not executed for her. She's
Yeah.
gonna be like stilled and kept in the tower grounds as an example
Yes.
of like what not to do for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
So like I
Until she
kinda,
offs herself.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's really bad.
Her and Logain can sit in the crying garden together.
No, it's so sad.
That is actually really sad.
Yeah.
I still feel for Logain.
But remember how they don't let Logain kill himself? They like keep him away from sharp
Yeah,
things.
they
and-
certainly do.
Yeah.
It's awful. Anyway, so I don't know. Probably things regarding Rand and the Horn and Moraine.
Yeah, like what
And-
happens? Does Rand take the horn? Is he going to Ilion? Is he going to Tyr? Did Rand get killed? Like,
Yeah, it all depends. So
is
I
he
don't
not the
actually
real
know what
dragon?
her documents are for.
probably a bunch of stuff, but
Yeah. So Lyanna
yeah,
comes in
yeah.
the room, and Verin is there.
Oh, hey, before we do that, I
Yeah.
just wanted to kind of make a quick similarity, like a distinction, because her description of her study or her like office is very, very close to what Pedro Niles is.
Yeah, I was
very
actually
simple,
thinking that.
very like clean cut, like nothing fancy.
Yeah.
Which is totally different from Jacob Carradine, the Dark Friend, his study.
Right,
It was all fancy because he likes fancy things
because he's fancy
and evil.
and evil.
So we can
Oh.
probably trust Swan
Make some connections.
because she's not fancy.
Yeah, Swan's not on my sketch radar, so we'll see.
Not yet, till she buys something elegant.
Yeah, we'll see. So Swan says to send Verin in alone, which annoys Lyanna, and That's fine, though.
Yeah.
Bye.
Well, she does kind of know that she said it too quick, so it's like getting Liana like suspicious almost.
Yeah.
But
Not really.
Not really, but she answered too fast.
Yeah. So Verin comes in and says that she has news, and Siuan says that the room has been warded against anyone listening in.
Ah.
And Verin right away says that Rand has proclaimed himself Dragon Reborn.
Yes, interesting.
And Siuan says, I hoped it was him.
Yeah.
And then she says, actually, I knew it was him. And then we get some info on 2 other false dragons in the world right now.
This is like a huge asterisk beside this because this is really important.
Turns out they're no longer trouble in the world.
Yeah, so Mazrim Taim from Saldea was captured.
Yep.
And then the unknown dude in
was just like killed by his horse or something?
No, he got executed. So what they said is like on that day that they were both captured, there was like a big flash in the sky during the battle. They both got like thrown off their horses and then like immediately captured.
That's what that was. Okay.
Yeah, because it's kind of like the pattern doesn't want any more dragons.
Well, once the true dragon is proclaimed, the pattern does not have room for false dragons.
Yeah, and we never even got a name for the dude in Edinburgh.
Nope.
He just got executed like right on the spot, basically. So.
Yep.
Yep.
But this Mazrim
Taim.
He's captured.
Captured, yes.
But by the sisters.
By the sisters,
Red Aja.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So will he be brought to Tarvalon?
Probably. That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
Because that was what happened with Logain, so we can probably assume that they're going to do a similar... Maybe Taim and Logain will become buddies in Tarvalon, being like still brothers.
Good.
Yeah.
Because then, when things get figured out for Rand, they'll get figured out for them, and they'll all be friends.
What do you mean? Rand's not stilled.
No, but the whole tainty thing.
Okay. Well, they're gonna be stilled.
No, they're gonna be gentled.
Gentled. Hey, you corrected me.
I know.
Good. Yeah. It's a power move right there.
That was a good thing.
Yeah, that was good. Okay. So
but
I don't understand what you're saying.
I think they'll get ungentled.
Right. Okay.
Because they won't go crazy. Because they'll figure out a way for Rand not to go crazy.
But gentling has nothing to do with the craziness.
No, but the taint does.
Okay.
You're not following me.
You're being very confusing to me in my head.
Okay. Egwene and Nynaeve are going to figure out a way
to
make Rand not go crazy.
Yes, but that is different than someone being gentled or stilled
I'm
and
aware. But once
they're going to fix that too?
They're going to fix that also. They're going to get ungentled, I said. Once they can figure out how to make men not go crazy, it would be very beneficial to have male channelers around.
Yeah, for future generations.
But also poor Logain. And this guy, I don't know.
Yeah, Taim. Yeah. You know him. We've heard of him a bunch of times.
I've never met him. I've met Logain.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Just spicing up these chapters.
Clearly, yeah.
Okay, so Siuan says at least Rand is in Moraine's hands and she will guide him. And I just think, nope.
Didn't happen that way.
Nope.
Yeah. I kind of feel bad for Siuan because, like, she clearly is out of loop so often and she's frustrated by Moraine.
Yeah.
And, like, do you think that Moraine is going to send, like, Siuan
sorry
a
about
message?
This, but he ran away.
It'd be like a coded message, like, the dragon has escaped the hen house or something. The chicken has left the hen house. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Siuan knows more about Tyr, though.
That's true. There. She's like, I mean, that's possible.
Okay. Anyway, so Verin gives Siuan the horn, and Siuan is like, man, this is supposed to stay with Rand. And Verin's like, no way, it's less risky with us.
Yeah.
And plus Matt sounded it, not Rand.
Yeah, so it's not going to do Rand any good anymore.
Right. And then Verin tells Siuan that Matt is here and needs to be healed or he'll die. And if he does die, then the horn can just be sounded by anyone again to forge a new bond.
Yeah.
And is basically suggesting they let Matt die.
She is. She's saying let Matt die and we can pick a different person.
So, my picking up on her sketchy vibes about not wanting Matt to survive was right.
Okay, so does she... So this is Verin, and we know she's, like, super logical. She's been watching Siuan and Moraine for, like, 20-some years, being all sneaky, so she knew the dragon was coming. So do you think that she is just, like, offering up alternatives? Like, she's, like, a very linear, logical person.
But there's nowhere that connects the horn to the dragon.
Not directly, but also, like, Matt's out of the left field here.
But they do know that they need the horn for Tarmon Gaiden.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. So maybe she's just offering up, like, suggestions, like, hey, I don't know, do we need to, like, have Matt in the picture, or is he, like, not important?
Yeah, but the fact that
So.
she's even suggesting it's annoying.
Okay.
Because no, Matt can't die. So, apparently they only have a few hours to make this decision.
Yeah, and she's like, if you procrastinate long enough...
It'll just happen for you.
Yeah, the decision will be made.
And Verin says there's a matter of the Seanchan, because they have run away for now, but Verin doesn't think it'll be the last we see of them.
Yeah.
And that's what I said.
Well, it's important because she makes the mentions of, like, hey, they call themselves the Forerunners and those who come before. So my question is, like, okay, who's coming after?
Yeah.
And it's like those who show up now. It's like, is that a bigger army? Is that, like, should we be worried about that? Should we be preparing? Should we be building, like, giant catapults on the coast so we can, like...
Well, and here's the thing. They also use the power as a weapon.
Yeah.
And that's confirmed.
So it's a little bit frustrating because Siuan is, like, really brushing this off.
Well, she uses more fish metaphors.
Yeah.
To basically say, don't worry about that now. We have plenty to worry about.
Yeah, and I kind of get that, but I also, like, disagree. Like, you got to worry about everything. You're the Amyrlin seat. You can't just, like, put that off.
Right.
Because they, like, enslave Aes Sedai.
Yeah, it's bad.
And you're Aes Sedai.
Yeah, it's bad.
So.
But...
Hey, that's just one guy's thoughts. I don't know.
They don't know that for sure, though. They only know that they use the one power. They don't know that they're enslaved.
We do, yeah, and that's kind of the issue is that there's a lack of information and there's a lot of misinformation. So it's really hard to figure out what Siuan is actually what she knows.
Why are you saying it like that now?
Siuan?
Yeah.
Well, it's Siuan, but I say it fast, so it's Swan.
You're confusing me with your pronunciation.
You can say Swan.
Yeah, that's what I do say.
Yeah, but if you slow it down, it's Siuan.
S-I-U is Su?
Swan.
Suan.
Swan.
Okay, moving on.
Say whatever you want.
Yeah. And I do.
Yeah, you do. That's true.
Even when I can't help it. Okay, so Verin asks what will happen to these 3 girls, and Siuan says she will make them miserable.
Yeah.
But first, sit down and tell me everything they did and said in the time they were with you.
Yeah.
Everything.
So that kind of implies that Verin is going to, like, tell the full story probably about Leandrin.
Oh, yes.
So, like, the higher-ups
know. About the
know.
Leandrin story? Do you think... I don't think that Verin knows about the Leandrin story.
You don't think that during the months of travel that the girls didn't open up and tell literally everything?
No, I don't think they did.
Really?
That's what I said last episode. That's what the secrets are. Because they said that no one can know what we did.
No one can know, like, how powerful they are.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong.
Like the stuff that they had to do.
Yeah, I really got the vibe that they did not tell anybody about, like,
okay,
why they left,
because
how they left, or...
Well, consider this, though, but as soon as Sheriam was like, oh, they're runaways, Egwene was immediately going to say, like, we didn't run away.
Oh, that's true.
Like, she was 100% going to be like,
of course
Leandrin's a dark friend, Black Aja, and she lured us away with candy.
Yeah.
Like, she was going to tell the full story, 100%.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I hope you're right.
Yeah.
And I hope they're believed.
Okay. That's the other side of that is, like, even if they do tell a story, are they going to be believed? And then even if they're believed, like, how are they going to, like, incorporate that into the daily life?
Well, it sounds very interesting, and I can't wait to read on.
Oh, that's true. Well, it's a good thing we're at the end of this chapter.
Yeah, and even with all my juicy tidbits, this is, like, our shortest episode.
Sorry, guys.
Ever.
But I promise, like, good things, and my favorite scene is coming up really soon.
Is it?
And everyone's super excited about what's happening soon.
Great.
We're excited for you.
Okay, well, I think I should read on, and we should record another episode really quickly.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Do a double release, because this was shorter than I thought it would be.
Well, it's a good thing we didn't do, like, one chapter.
And people demand content.
They do. Okay, they're very demanding.
Yes.
But in a good way. I demand that you go read.
I demand that also.
Okay.
All right, well, I guess I'm just going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett with Vince Lewick, Scott Williams, Passion Socks, Mozyme, Michelle O'Brien, Derek Benton, Benjamin, and Derek Schluter, with music by Audionautics.com. If you'd like bonus content, like bonus episodes, outtakes, Q&As, more fun Wheel of Time talk, early access, cool stickers and keychains, and also to support us making great content, visit us at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitter at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. We love interacting with our listeners. Plus, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and tell a friend about us because referrals really are the best compliment. We'd really love for you to come over and join our Discord channel for some spoiler or spoiler-free discussions. You can find the links at our Twitter page as well as on our Patreon page. Thanks again for tuning in because this really is part of the pattern now.